Hey folks, so I've been playing with the iPhone 4S for a few days now, and if you're not familiar with the 4S, it's very similar to the iPhone 4, except it has one standout feature, and that feature is called Siri. If you haven't heard of Siri, the best way to describe it is that of a voice-driven personal assistant. That's the best way to put it. And what I'm going to do now is show you guys a few examples of some of the things that Siri can do. And so the way you access Siri on the iPhone is just holding down the home button. Put this in the frame. The home button for a couple of seconds. Hi Siri.
Hello, Tony.
What's the weather like today?
Here's the forecast for today.
Got it. So it gives you the weather forecast on a hourly basis. You can see it's a pretty nice day, mainly in the 70s. What's the weather this weekend in Los Angeles?
It should be nice in Los Angeles this weekend.
So there it highlights the weekend, as you can see, Saturday and Sunday. Another thing that's fairly cool about this is you can actually talk to Siri in very natural language. So one of the things I was wondering recently is, with Halloween coming up, just wondering what time does the sun set. But I think mainly when people think of, what time does the sun set, they may not say what time does the sun set. They may say something like this. When does it get dark around here?
I don't know when sunset is for this weekend. Today, it's at 6:24 p.m.
So you notice a couple of things there. It's pretty cool. Is that I didn't say sunset. I just said when does it get dark, and Siri knew that it understood what I meant by that, and so it gave me the sunset time for today, which was 6:24 p.m. The other thing that was cool is that it remembered what I was talking about. So the last thing I talked about was the weather forecast for this weekend in Los Angeles. So it remembered, it says, well, I don't know what it's going to be, what sunset's going to be for this weekend, but today it's going to be at 6:24 p.m. So that's very neat how smart it is. Some other examples of some day-to-day uses for Siri. Let's say you're at a restaurant, and here's a typical example. Let's try that again. Siri, what is 15% of $72?
Checking my sources. Okay, here goes.
Alright, so there you can see that, if you're in a tipping situation, you have a $72 bill, 15% of that by Siri, let me see if I can zoom in on this, see if you can see it, is $10.80. So that's very cool. Keeping with the restaurant theme, you could ask things like this. Where can I get some Indian food around here?
I found 11 Indian restaurants. 3 of them are fairly close to you.
Call Curry Up now.
Sorry, Tony. I can't look for restaurants in South Korea.
I guess call Curry Up now sounds like South Korea. That was very funny. Like a restaurant in South Korea. Okay, another thing that Siri is able to do is reminders, and so that's one of the things I'm constantly having to do, in my life is just remind myself of things. But even if I write down reminders, a lot of times I forget to look at them, so they're not of greatest use. But one thing Siri can do is actually, because Siri is location aware, it knows when I arrive somewhere or when I leave somewhere. So here's an example. Siri, remind me to pick up a gift when I leave work today.
Here's your reminder for when you leave work.
Cool.
Shall I create it?
Yes.
Okay, I'll remind you.
All right, so basically the reminder will hit me. It'll actually notify me when I leave work. So as soon as I leave the parking garage, I'm gonna get a dee-dee-dee-dee, and it'll be like, I'll look at my phone and it'll say the reminder will be there to pick up a gift, which is awesome because, like I said earlier, a lot of times you have a list of to-dos, but unless that reminder hits you at the right time, it's something that I, for myself, have frequently missed. So another version of that is just remind me of something when I get home. Remind me to water the plants when I get home. So it's processing.
Sorry, Tony. I couldn't do it. Could you try it again, please?
So this is one thing that might illustrate the fact that despite all the things I'm showing you, it's working pretty well, but one thing to know about Siri is that it is in beta right now, which is actually really impressive because I think it works really well, but obviously they have some refinements that they need to do before it's final. Let's check out directions. Siri, how do I get to South Lake Tahoe?
Here are directions to South Lake Tahoe.
So as you can see, it brings up the map with directions, and I can start, point-to-point directions. One thing that's cool, I haven't noticed with the new iteration, I think, of iOS 5, is you now have a choice between one route and maybe a secondary route, which is very cool. Let's try something else. Wake me up at 7:15 tomorrow.
It's set for 7:15 a.m.
Cool, there's my alarm. Oh wait, let me stop. So another cool thing is, if you own stocks, a lot of times, in terms of something like this, you might be tempted to say, how is a certain stock performing today? But a lot of people don't talk like that. And so once again, Siri is really smart in the way that it can interpret what you mean. So I work at Visa, so a question I might ask, very commonly is, what's Visa doing today?
Visa Inc. Visa went up today to $93.43.
Nice. So you can see how it interpreted what I wanted, and it gave me a chart of Visa stock performance today. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it there. That's very cool. Here's another one. When is Mother's Day?
Mother's Day is on Sunday, May 13th, 2012.
And keeping with the holiday theme, let's ask this important one. How many days till Christmas? Houses in Portland.
I found this for you.
What on earth is this? 34 million day housing units. Okay, I was talking in the midst of that last command, but let's try that again. Siri, how many days left until Christmas?
I found this for you.
There we go. Days until Christmas, time span, 64 days, or some people are like 2 months, 4 days. Other people are like, probably engineers are like 0.18 years. All right, so that's pretty much it. I'll leave you guys with one last Siri question. I think it's the question that we've all asked ourselves at some point or another in our lives. The big question of, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?
It depends on whether you are talking about African or European wood chunks.
All right. European woodchucks.
I found 7 European restaurants not far from you.
Like I said, it's beta, but yeah, very, very neat stuff, and Siri is quite the comedian. Goodbye, Siri.
I'm not aware of any meetings about Goodbye Siri.
All right. Hope you enjoyed that. If you guys have any comments or have any questions for me to ask Siri, definitely leave it in the comments below. I'll let you know what she says.